At the end of another chaotic week at the U.S. Capitol, Republicans nominated Jim Jordan to be the next House Speaker late today after Steve Scalise abandoned his bid. Ryan Nobles is following this minute by minute. Ryan, where do things stand?
Lester, right now, the House Speaker's race probably won't be voted on until early next week. The Republicans' new nominee, Jim Jordan, still needs to build support to guarantee that he can have 217 votes when this goes to a vote on the full House floor. Now, Jordan did win an internal party vote today, but by a slim margin to Austin Scott, a little-known congressman from Georgia. A second ballot, though, revealed that more than 50 Republicans are not comfortable supporting Jordan on the House floor, and he can only afford to lose 4 Republican votes if he wants to be the next speaker. Now, Jordan's supporters remain optimistic that he can win over his skeptical colleagues. Now, without a speaker, no legislation can move through the Congress. That includes the potential of a hefty aid package to support Israel in its war against Hamas, something the White House has forecasted could come very soon.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.